Okay, so Gestalt Principles, the first one we talked about was proximity. So proximity is that we group items together just because of their closeness. So here, instead of seeing 6 bars, we see 3 groups of 2 because they're close together. So we group them as groups of 2. So that is proximity. The next one we're going to talk about is similarity. So we think of similar objects as belonging to each other. So we see a bunch of X's and O's here, and it looks like there is a row of X's, row of O's, row of X, row of O, because we're grouping things that are similar together into different categories. So a group of X's, group of O's, X's and O's, and so on. So it's proximity and similarity. We then talked about continuity. So we want to see smooth, continuous patterns, so our lines and our waves, instead of half circles. So on here we see a nice smooth wave and a line, but instead we can see half circles. So one half circle, another half circle, another half circle, put all together. So continuity is that we see the smooth lines and the waves versus seeing half circles, which are disputed ones. Next thing is common fate. So things that move together belong together. So this little comic here, things that move together would belong together. If these 2 gentlemen were moving this way, and they turned around and started moving this way, we would think that they would belong together, but then all of a sudden they switch directions, and they might not actually belong together. So common fate, we think things that move together belong together. Next one is closure. So closure is that we perceive a complete image, even when our senses are missing information, so that our brain fills in the rest. So this here to me kind of looks like an elephant, maybe an armadillo. And the reason it looks like that is because we see parts of it and then our brain is filling in the rest to get the image that we are seeing. The next one is figure ground perception. So the perception of figures against a background. So here, this is the famous hourglass face painting. So we have a black background, and then we put this little white thing on it. It looks like an hourglass. If you stare at the white part, it looks like an hourglass, but then if you look at the black figures, it looks like 2 faces put together. So figure ground perception. And the last thing we talked about was stroboscopic motion. So this is kind of like those flip books you see where you flip the pages really fast, and because it's moving, it looks like it's creating an image that is moving. So the perception of movement from rapid progression of images, kind of like a stop motion video. You then had a worksheet to work on about Gestalt Principles. I did post the solutions to that on the classroom. And the next thing we talked about was cues.